Hello, everyone. Today I'm showing this little oasis of tranquility that Sue Hirsch set up for me, and I'm reflecting on where do we go from here as an independence movement. Well, that which has compelled us from the very beginning to seek California's liberation from the U.S. has always been the rise of fascism. Now it's galloping apace with openly fascist legislation coming out of the red states and arcing across between them. And they are taking aim at the U.S. federal government to make complete the fascist takeover nationwide. That's something we Californians will never stand for. We'll leave before that happens. So that's sort of our negative impetus. But what is there a positive alternative to fascism? Well, reflecting on our victory over fascism in the Second World War, something good did come out of it. Not just the United Nations as a place to try to resolve differences peacefully, but a positive outcome. And that the cause for which we all fought was set forth in this document, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. What's in it? And how can we access it here in California? Well, it starts out with a preamble, yes, and then it sets into the articles. All human beings being born free and equal in dignity and rights. Everyone is entitled to all the rights set forth in the Declaration. Life, liberty, security of person, no slavery, no torture. A person before the law. Everyone entitled to equal rights. Everyone entitled to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals. No arbitrary arrest or detention or exile. Full equality and due process. Presumption of innocence. These all sound very familiar because they are taken from the U.S. Bill of Rights, as are most of these. Freedom of movement, right to seek and enjoy other countries' asylum from persecution, as people will be coming to California from the red states, seeking asylum here. Right to a nationality, and to change that nationality, if they so choose. Freedom of religion, right to own property, and to not be arbitrarily deprived of it. Freedom of thought and expression and opinion, peaceful assembly, not to be compelled to assemble, take part in the government, the political rights. Then beginning in Article 22, we have the enumeration of a second set of rights, what became economic, social, and cultural rights, having enumerated that these exist, and they are listed: right to work, free choice of employment, just and favorable conditions, equal pay for equal work, right to form and join trade unions, right to rest and leisure, standard of living adequate to maintain themselves and their families, motherhood and childhood enjoying special care and assistance, right to an education, and the aims of that education consistent with the aims of the UN, which is again at this time still victorious allies, which promulgated this right to freely participate in the cultural life of the community, a international order that promulgates these rights, social and international order in which duties of community are to develop these. The rights and freedoms which shall not be taken as implying that anyone has the right to endanger these rights. Okay, this is the famous Article 30 anti-fascist kicker. Okay, right at the end of these, no fascism. So it is anti-fascist. So, how do we as Californians access these rights? Well, California has rights enumerated in its constitution, which are in advance of these. The Pruneyard case proves that because we vouchsafe the rights of people to free speech, not only in public property, but on the publicly accessible grounds of private property. That was what the Pruneyard Mall case was about. Somebody was petitioning. Security kicked them out. They petitioned. They won in the state courts. The Pruneyard Mall petitioned again. And they won in the federal courts, too. Well, the federal courts are what the fascists are now targeting. If they succeed, then in order to vouchsafe these rights, we have to secede from the United States. If those rights are taken away, and they are being taken away, make no mistake, on the state level, that goes federal, and we can't protect those who are fleeing to California to protect those rights. We got to go. So how do we do that? Well, we've had various attempts to circulate petitions that loosen our ties to the U.S. But the simplest way is to simply delete the references to the U.S. Constitution from ours, right? And instead of just leaving nothing, put in their place, replace them with references to this Universal Declaration, vouchsafing these rights in California, even when the economic, social, and cultural part has never been recognized by the U.S., ever. We can turn that corner, and in turning that corner, we will turn decisively against fascism. And our purposes will be made clear to the world and to those fleeing to California to escape persecution, particularly fleeing from the U.S. They'll have a positive alternative that enjoys the status of international law. So I propose that the California National Party circulate that petition to substitute reference to this Universal Declaration of Human Rights for those to the U.S. Constitution, which can act against us, actually, to threaten those rights. So that is my proposal. I feel that if CNP accepts my proposal and circulates that petition, that it will pass with the help of those now fleeing to California. And we've got folks now funding passage from the red states to California who will have every interest in helping us achieve that goal. Coming to you before the one flag that the fascists fear and hate, above all others. Viva Gran California Libre.